Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special reading for the Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Earth signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Earth signs, I hope that you're doing well. These readings are all about what people are thinking, saying about you at this time. And I don't usually do many readings, many series like this, but Spirit really brought to my attention the idea of perception and projection. How we can do that to other people, how they can do that to us, and how we create our own reality, and how sometimes other people create in their minds a reality for us, and how that can be helpful, harmful, and everything in between. So just wanted to get a little temperature on that. For the overall energy, I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first deck will be the Wild Unknown Alchemy, and at the end I will read from the book, and then I'm going to use the Muse Tarot for the tarot portion of your reading. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Ooh, beautiful. So the fire signs got a similar card, not the same card, but a similar card. The number is 18. Which corresponds to the Moon card of the Major Arcana. That's Pisces energy. Moon card talks about secrets, illusion, confusion. The Moon, though, is very ethereal. It's very otherworldly in the sense that we don't always get a full picture, right? The same side of the Moon is always facing the Earth. Like, it doesn't in and of itself, like it circles around the Earth, but it in and of itself doesn't rotate independently. So we're always seeing the same side. We know that there's a dark side of the Moon, but we don't, we can't see it when it appears in our sky, at least not with our naked eye. So I don't know why that was relevant, but Spirit wanted me to say it. In terms of the Moon card, the word that you got, though, is summer. I think this kind of, it could be kind of moon-like. It also reminds me of, the negative image of a piece of fruit. Like, if you were to take a piece of fruit and photograph it, and then kind of use actual film stock, it would kind of look like this. Again, not sure why that's relevant, but it's almost like seeing something inversely. Seeing something inversely, like not taking things at face value. And maybe that's what people are kind of realizing about you, that they could have been taking you at face value, making assumptions about you, and then discovering that they could have been wrong about what it is that they perceived you to be, how they interpreted your personality, your motives, your motivations. Summer, of course, is a beautiful season. If you're lucky enough to have seasons, like I am, where I live in the world, the seasons are getting, some seasons are getting much shorter, and some seasons are getting much longer. It's summer where I'm living right now. Sometimes the heat can be really scorching, and sometimes it can be really temperate and beautiful, and that's kind of what I'm interpreting here with the greenery of this tree. It's almost like abundant and lush. It kind of also reminds me of like broccoli. So Spirit could, thank you, Spirit. They could be making a comment about your health. That you need more iron, or that you need more vitamins. Just take it as it resonates, because now I kind of see this red sphere in the middle as kind of like a supplement or a vitamin. I'm not telling you to take that. I'm just putting that message out there. Consult with a doctor. You know your body best. But, I mean, unless you have a severe allergy to something, I feel like eating vegetables is generally a good idea. But it's this idea in summer, things are feeling a little freer. We're not wearing as many garments or clothing. Like, we're kind of outside, we're in the sun. I was just having a conversation this morning with someone about the sun's rejuvenating energy and how we don't yet, even now, know the full effects of how sunlight can heal us. I mean, obviously, if we stay in the sunlight too long, it can burn us. But even so, the reference here to the moon, it's like the moon looks a certain way in the winter and the moon looks a certain way in the summer. In the summer, it sometimes has that haziness. The haziness of the atmosphere makes the moon look a little hazy. And then in the winter time, it looks crisp. And there's something about that. It's again talking about perception. Perhaps in the summer of your life, when you're feeling more carefree, when we feel more optimistic in the summertime, somebody could be interpreting that a certain way, like looking at how you are behaving and thinking, wow, maybe they're seeing your carefreeness and having a comment about it. Spirit just said this phrase to me. It's not that they're saying the phrase, but they're calling my attention to the phrase, which is earth signs need to buckle down. But Spirit is not saying that. It's like the person that is perceiving you, what people are thinking and saying about you, it's like you need to buckle down. I don't know if this is a parent or a spouse. It feels kind of lectury. We need to buckle down. Thank you, Spirit. We need to buckle down, get to work. We need to focus. Focus. I don't know who is saying that precisely, but I keep hearing it. There could be something that maybe you're saying it to yourself. There's something here that you need to focus on. You know why I'm saying that also? This red dot is very disconcerting to me. And it kind of reminds me of, it's kind of reminding me of the red dot on the screen that I see on my phone right now, the red dot of the recording. But it also reminds me of like the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. My favorite film, which is something to say, to declare that, but yes, it is my favorite film. And if you've ever seen that film, there is kind of a AI supercomputer named Hal. Hal is represented by this red light, this kind of camera light, this red light. And it's almost like Hal is kind of looking back at me and waiting for me to respond. It's something like that. So I feel as though people are considering, they're watching, not necessarily in a creepy way, but you feel this kind of eye of a little bit of judgment or expectation on you, where you might just want to be in your summer period, when you're on vacation, when you're feeling free. You don't want to have to worry about prying eyes or people making judgments. So we'll see where we get to it. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. This is just an overall reading. There's no past, present, and future in this reading. It's just an overall message for the earth signs. And at the end, I will pull a card of advice from Spirit and read from the book as well. For the card from the Wild Unknown Alchemy, Summer. Got an extra card out. I'll take that as part of your overall energy, the Queen of Materials in reverse. This is earth sign energy, the Queen of Materials. Materials is Pentacles in this deck. We can see here, the Queen is usually somebody who has a lot of self-confidence, a lot of clout, a lot of energy. The Queen of Pentacles, materials, very generous, giving, loving, abundant, lush, right? But when she's in the reverse, it's kind of like, I want to say she feels a little less forgiving. She feels a little less forgiving. It's almost like, you know, this energy saying, you got to buckle down, earth signs, you got to buckle down. And you just being in this energy of like, I really could care less about what you think right now, is what wanted to come out. You're trying to live in your summer period where you want to be kind of unencumbered, is the word that Spirit just gave to me. Unencumbered. We start off with a major arcana number 16, the Tower card in the reverse. This is the card in the reverse. This is the card in the upright. So the Tower card, which corresponds to Aries and Scorpio, the Tower card can talk about this, something that comes out of the blue. Like, we're just not expecting it. We couldn't have seen it coming. And yet, our intuition might have given us some clues, some red flags along our path to indicate to us that there might be a change. But we didn't see it, or we chose not to see it. So they call this, you know, the card of great shock, awe, and upheaval. It's this idea that Spirit, the divine, comes in and with their bolts of lightning kind of blow the crown chakra off of our heads. And like, it's the sense that, you know, whatever identity that we identified with, or whatever way we thought of ourselves, which is a better way of saying it, however we thought of ourselves, it's like all of that is kind of going out the window. And what you thought was maybe good for you before may no longer be good for you. But when the card is in the reverse, it's kind of like, I want to avert disaster. I don't want big change right now. I can't take any more change. I can't take any more surprise. It messes with my nervous system. It messes with my equilibrium. And I'm feeling this, I've talked about it before in some readings. It doesn't happen often, but I'm feeling this, thank you, Spirit, this pulsation on my eardrum that is very unpleasant. And it only happens when I feel resistance to delivering a message. Now, Spirit is allowing me to channel it, but there's one or some of you who may be watching this reading, it could be a hard message to listen to. The sense that you need to buckle down. Even if you're the one saying it to yourself, which could be the case with the Five of Inspiration coming out to clarify the Tower card in reverse, Five of Wands. I always interpret this as the card of us kind of stumbling over ourselves, internal chaos and conflict. Like we're working against ourselves. It could be a little bit of self-sabotage. It is a 5 energies, and the 5s, for just as a reader, the 5s are problematic because they're sticky. It's a sticky energy that we have to slog through. We have to work through all of our hang-ups, all of our fears, looking at ourselves in the mirror, you know, asking ourselves the hard questions. Do we really want this? person, place, or thing, this job, this scenario? Do we need to make a change for ourselves? Do we need to heal from something? It's like asking these bigger questions and trying to avert disaster. But there's like a sense in you that the Spirit just said that eventually summer needs to come to an end, right? Which is not to say that you can't have your fun. That's not what Spirit is saying at all. What they are saying is that it's also important to prepare yourself for the challenges that you already know are on the horizon. Because the less you prepare yourself, it's almost like the universe might give you a little bit of a rude awakening, right? And I'm not necessarily predicting that. I'm just saying this is a part of life. It's like there are things we cannot anticipate sometimes because it's life. They're full of surprises, or it's full of surprises. Like just yesterday, I was with an earth sign friend, and she received some terrible news, right? And it was the whole group of us, we were just caught off guard because, like, you know, we just didn't anticipate it happening, and we felt for her, and you know, but there's some things that are beyond our control. So what we can control, we should try to, you know, not to an obsessive state, but to a state where we set ourselves up for success. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Can I get a clarifier for the Tower in reverse? What are we trying to avoid or avert disaster? Four of Voices in the reverse. Four of Voices, Four of Swords. This card in the upright can talk about a period of rest, recuperation, taking a time out, a much needed time out after some heartache, heartbreak. When the card is in reverse, it's kind of like saying, thank you, Spirit, we have to wake up now. The veil is being lifted, starting to see things more clearly. When we start to see things more clearly, weirdly, it becomes a responsibility. You know, that expression, I can't unsee it. It's I guess, Spirit's kind of bringing the quantum entanglement. The minute something is observed, or it changes its state. And Spirit wants to bring that to your attention. Like the minute that you observe something, perhaps even about yourself, is the minute that it's going to change. Like we're acknowledging that's something that we, you know, maybe have been fighting against ourselves for a little too long. And that's like, I hate that. I'm sure you hate that. But it's important. It's important for growth to kind of reconcile our hang-ups and the things that hold us back, right? And if you're here at a tarot reading, you're looking for some guidance. I mean, the best guidance that I've ever been given from Spirit or from another human being that was channeling Spirit is to kind of get over myself, stop being down on myself, stop thinking that I'm not good enough, things like that, and to pursue my passions and dreams, to believe in myself, my capabilities. Spirit just gave me this phrase, sometimes I feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room. Now, I'm certainly not saying that to you, but I mean, have you said that to yourself recently? And I just really want you to look at that and please never say it again to yourself. It's like we're not doing ourselves any favors by talking poorly to ourselves. Or, you know, if this is something that somebody has said to you, you need to kick those people to the curb. Like if they told you you were the dumbest person in the room, you do not need that person in your life. I don't care who that person is to you. Like, you know, with friends like that, who needs enemies, right? But I heard that very clearly. Like I got silent and I heard that come through, It's, that would definitely be something that will cause you to work against yourself, a lack of self-confidence. And there could be somebody in your midst who is also kind of watching things unfold and saying, oh, when are the earth signs going to buckle down and kind of see. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Maybe it's just like, when are they going to buckle down and like work on that project that they've wanted to do forever? Because they're so talented and we want what's best for them and we want them to pursue their dreams. Maybe it could be something like that. Four of Materials here out next. Four of Pentacles, kind of like keeping things really, really close to the chest. Like not making eye contact, not really wanting to disclose. Thank you, Spirit. Not wanting to disclose too much, which I understand in the case of manifestation. Sometimes when we tell too many people, and sometimes we're just excited, right? Like, let's say you were planning to go on a trip and you're just like pumped. You're just so happy and excited to plan it, and then something either falls through or it doesn't turn out to be what you wanted, and then it's kind of like you've told all these people and now you're just like, yeah, it may not happen. That's something that kind of happened to me recently. I got so excited about something and then I thought maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe I shouldn't have told people. I know better, blah, 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 blah. And it's at the end of the day, I'm just like, no, I was excited about it. And I'm going to forgive myself for being excited about something for once, right? But it's just an example. But I do think that there's something here that you're kind of, Spirit just showed me like proofing bread, dough. I don't really know how to do that, by the way. Like, I bake and stuff, but when it comes to proofing bread and yeast and that whole thing, it makes me very nervous and I'd rather just buy it. But it's like they're showing me sourdough starter. That's what it's called. People get very, very particular about their sourdough starter. It's all chemistry, so they have to be. But it's something like that. It's like, don't touch my sourdough starter. I don't know, that is what a tremendously random way for Spirit to bring that to my attention. But like, it kind of illustrates something that you've invested time into. And you have to, from what I understand, when you're proofing bread or you're dealing with a starter, you kind of have to deal with it and then you have to let it go. And the passage of time allows it to mature to a state where you can then work with it, I guess. Bread people, tell me. But that's kind of what I'm seeing with this card. It's like, I have to let the ideas, the goals, the dreams, the manifestations marinate before I reveal them or allow them to take shape. And I know what I'm doing, is what you're telling me, Muse of Voices. This is the King of Swords. King of Swords knows what they're doing, right? A path laid out before them. It's very, very clear. It's interesting too. This is like kind of a mirrored image, and this is a dancer, right? Her legs up in the air, but it reminds me of a nautilus shape, kind of sacred geometry. And here's our moon. The King of Swords is an authority figure. It's Gemini energy for me. Also can be Libra. King of Swords is not somebody to be messed with. They've done the research. They've done the planning. They've put forth the strategy. They know what they're talking about 99.9% of the time. Hard to go toe-to-toe with the King of Swords. So there's something here where something is gestating, something is brewing, cooking in the background, and you know what you're doing. And I have a feeling that whoever is kind of looking at you right now may not be privy to it. What they might see is summer. They might see you just having fun, enjoying yourself. But you're enjoying yourself now, perhaps, so that you can buckle down in the fall, or buckle down when the time is right, when the sourdough starter has reached its maturation. Such a strange image, because I see like the bubbling. I don't know, you might be like into chemistry or something. I'm not sure. Let me get a clarifier for the Four of Materials. What is it that we're keeping close? Because now I'm just curious and nosy. What are we keeping close? What does it have to do with? Ace of Voices in reverse. It's almost like I'm not going to tell you. Ace of Voices in the upright. Aces bring new from spirit. This is epiphany, clarity, coming in, downloaded from spirit. The breakthrough energy, and you got this card in reverse. So it's kind of like spirit is saying you're not really, that I am not really privy. They don't want to tell me exactly what it is. They just know that when the time is right, you will have your breakthrough. And okay, the reason why it's not right is because like you're in your summer mode, vacation mode. Like there's this period where you need to rest. And this energy over here was saying, you know, like we're lifting ourselves out of that energy. We want you to kind of snap out of vacation mode and get buckled down. And spirit is saying, no, it's precisely when the mind is clear, relaxed, neutral. That's when all the great creative ideas can come in. Because otherwise it's just chatter. And that's the thing about the King of Swords, the Muse of Voices. The King of Swords is constantly thinking in overdrive, thinking 50 steps ahead. Sometimes that can stifle creativity. If you've planned for every potentiality and scenario, it's like, where's the wonder? Where's the mystery? You know, like there has to be a nice balance between those two. But I mean, it's very clear to me that you're working on something. But no one else is really privy to it. And that is by design. King of Swords, that is by design. It's on purpose. And we end the reading beautifully because it's like, let the naysayers kind of have their moment to like express themselves. You know, I kind of feel like it could be like a partner or a family relation, because what we end with here is two major arcana. Number 8, the Strength card, Leo energy, and number 3, Taurus energy with the Empress, Taurus and Libra. Taurus, you showed up in your own reading. These two cards together are massive powerhouse energies. The Strength card talks about this mastery over our ego, over the things that keep us from being courageous, right? It frees us to step outside the confines of, you know, even our own identities, like even the story that we've told other people, right? Let me give you an example. Like when I was younger, I used to be really, I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a Cancer. It happens. But when I was younger, I used to tell people, like, just stay away from me. I'm really moody and grumpy. I came out of the womb grumpy. I used to say that to people. And I've said this in readings before. And when I look back on that as an adult, it's almost like I want to scold myself a little bit. Because it's like, what was I thinking Why would I ever say that to people? It's like I wanted to push people away. Stay away from me. I'm really moody and grumpy and unpleasant. You don't want to be around me. Right? But that was a narrative that was part of my identity and my ego. And during actually my spiritual awakening, I realized yes, I may be moody and grumpy sometimes, but in general, I want to be a positive person. I am a positive person for other people. Why did I create that identity? Why did I create that narrative? And Spirit came in and just like knocked that crown off my head and said, you know, that King Grumpy is no longer going to be ruling the roost. And so that's what the Strength card is all about. It's like having the wherewithal to kind of overcome all of these things that we put as barriers between us and the world. And when we do that, we can open up to this tremendous possibility of the Empress. The power of all four queens in the Empress. The wisdom, the beauty, the abundance, the creativity, the fertility. She is the master attractor. She knows her worth. And she allows goodness and prosperity, lushness to move towards her, move in her direction. And it's a beautiful way to end this reading, also because the Empress is also kind of often associated with nature and with trees. But it's kind of like saying that you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. But there are some people in your midst that don't understand your methodology. Can I get a card of advice from Spirit? Thank you. 3 cards came out. 2 of Inspiration in the reverse. 2 of Wands. The Page of Emotions. Page of Cups. Best card in the deck. The Sun. Number 19 of the Major Arcana. Again with Leo energy. That's two Leo cards. The Sun, summer, this kind of mirrors this energy, mirrors this right here. And we started off by talking about the moon, a reference to the number 18. Number 19, the sun comes after it. So anytime I see sun and moon represented in a reading, it talks to me about eclipse energy. So I'm not sure when the next eclipse is from the time that you're watching this reading. You might want to look up when the next partial or full eclipse will be. And in between now and that time, really look at how you're manifesting in your world, how you are kind of considering your directionality. In 2 of Inspiration talks about directionality. In the upright, it's kind of like, where are we going? Not sure what direction we're heading into. But in the reverse, it's like we have a very clear sense, but it's about moving. It's not just, okay, I want to go right, but then you have to take the steps. You have to put yourself out there, which is what Spirit is saying with this Page of Emotions, Page of Cups. We want to take a step forward towards the things that we love, the things that we're passionate about, the people that we may be passionate about. Because it's like, what if I told you that your success was assured? Right? The expression, if you knew you could not fail, what would you do? That's the Sun card. But see this figure here, kind of in this sun salutation. No, is that sun salutation? I don't know. I'm not a yoga person. But it's like this kind of hands clasped in prayer. Kind of makes me think of a quietude and a prayer position and a meditative position. It's very important that you quiet your mind at this time to allow the downloads to come in. Right, the epiphanies. So we're going to read from the book number 18, Summer. Fullness, vitality, sensuality. To experience summer is to be embodied. The summer air kisses every crevice of our body, opening us up in ways long forgotten. Lust, desire, laughter, sweat, physicality. These are all expressions of summer's fullness shining through. When this card appears, know that the senses are heightened and the work is nearing full expression. It may feel as though things are electrified or about to burst. Keep in mind that, like all the alchemical seasons, summer will soon pass. For now, everything in your narrative is fleshed out, and the story has just another chapter or two until it begins again. So revel in this time of ripening and rhythm. Celebrate, gather, connect. Whether the season is literal or metaphorical, let yourself be swept into the pulse of these hot and heavy nights. So that's your reading, Earth signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Earth signs.